Holy jeez. Fallout 76. This game was a crap storm when it first launched. I'm sure we all fondly remember the days of yore when the game first came out. How we were all excited to play this brand new Fallout game, only to find it a buggy, crappy mess of lies. It's been almost 2 years since the initial launch, and here we are, finally getting an expansion to the game to make Fallout 76 an actual Fallout game. Now, those of you who played the game when it first launched found that it was a buggy mess of a survival game with Fallout slapped over it, but lacking a lot of what made Fallout, well, Fallout. It lacked a very large human factor to the story, and how you couldn't learn how people survived bombs without the vaults. You'd find holotapes, and unfortunately, ultimately, you knew that there was no way to interact more or maybe even save the person who left that holotape behind, which was part of the fun in some of the Fallout games of past. Now, this expansion promises a lot, and only time will tell if it actually delivers. It promises more and new quests, including adding on to the main quest, NPCs, and also the inclusion of new areas. Sounds like a standard kind of expansion, right? Well, yes, except for most of what's going into this expansion should have been in the base game. Now, as far as the NPCs, they did mention that the dialogue with the NPCs will be more like Fallout 3 than Fallout 4, which I like because Fallout 4 was a little kind of rigid with the voice system in comparison to Fallout 3, as well as all the different options that you had seemed a lot more linear. And they did say, depending on how you allocated your points into your special, you'll sometimes find that you can pull off conversational feats that others cannot. I'm curious as to how this is going to go, considering there are, other players around, and this is technically a form of an MMO, even though it's very server-based and very, not. So, we're going to have to see how this goes. But they did state that it's going to be a new way of dealing with things. And, I don't know. I'll hold my suspense of disbelief until something actually happens. Because I'd like to remind you, it took nearly 2 years and a verbal beating by the public before Bethesda realized that people like Fallout to be like Fallout. Up until now, the player base was the ones making the game fun. And even Bethesda came out and said that was on accident. Seriously, if you need to spend ridiculous amounts of atoms in order to purchase a Santa outfit and then going around giving out presents to other players to make the game fun, then good on you. But at the same time, the player-generated events through the communities shouldn't be the only thing that makes your game fun. If your player base is doing things like this and starting cults in order to make your game fun, then you have seriously failed and succeeded at the same time. You succeeded in your players having fun, but you failed at the same time because you should have been a part of your initial design to begin with. It's like that one meme of an image where it says, "Task failed successfully." You don't know if that's a good thing or not, but you know what you're doing it successfully. Mind you, they are also stating that this time Fallout 76 and Wastelanders expansion will be coming to Steam at the same time. So, that's great and all, but unfortunately your atoms will not be transferable between your Bethesda account and your Steam account. Oh, Bethesda. I hate your launcher. I hate how it works, and I hate that it exists. It's not because I'm a Steam boy either, but more because you had one job. One! Make a launcher for your games and not make it shit. But here we are. Never mind the fact that your customer service is still about as abysmal as throwing yourself down a mine shaft with only a box of matches and a rope. Ha, I'm kidding. There is no rope. Oh, yeah, and the atoms part, not being transferable. You thought I would just skip on over that now, did you? Well, you're wrong. You mean if I buy the game again, don't know why someone would, but all the money that they gave Bethesda would be locked to Bethesda.net, and that I would have to buy something for my Steam account? I have to fork over more money? I mean, really? I miss when games were either good or bad at launch, and I didn't have to fork over more money in order to make the game fun and good. That I didn't have to trade my hard-earned money for in-game cash that I'd then have to buy something that a designer did like 20 minutes or less work to do. I'm looking at you, recolors and reskins. Fuck you. But seriously, in-game cash is its own box of shit that I don't like because, seriously, I can't even get a refund for this if it turns out that I just wanted to buy one thing and your minimum payments for the minimum amount that I can purchase for, your in-game cash is more than what I want. I just hope that, with this update of Wastelanders, they're finally going to realize that Fallout players like Fallout to be Fallout, and maybe they'll realize the same that Elder Scrolls players like Elder Scrolls to be Elder Scrolls. Because remember, Elder Scrolls Blade still has loot boxes and shit. And I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of miffed about that. In short, if you really enjoy Fallout 76 and this Wastelander expansion excites you, I'm happy for you. I really am. Continuing to enjoy the game, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I, for one, will be over in the corner, slowly driving a drill under my fingernails. I'll catch you guys next time. This has been Ian, the part-time Dungeon Master.